Storm One here. Today we'll be watching three systems that will be affecting parts of the Severn Plains to the southeast, and even up into the northeast. There's a potential nor'easter and potentially a winter storm to keep an eye on. Now, keep in mind that the last system I was showing you is going to be pretty far out, so things will likely change. But the first system we got to watch for will actually start somewhere in the Gulf currently. It'll be eventually passing forward. It'll be becoming maybe a little bit something along the East Coast here. So let's go ahead and get started with the GFS model here. So this is what we got currently. We got scattered showers, mainly along the Gulf Coast there, for most of the states. And then you got your low pressure developing just off the coast of Georgia and Florida there. And this low will start to deepen here quite a bit here. It's not as impressive like it was earlier, but it seems like it just kind of sits there though. It kind of splits off and a new low develops here and becomes a little bit of a boomer there, but not as strong like it was before. You do have a clipper system up here though. But it seems like it's like a budget effect. But if you look up there to the northeast, there's actually some freezing rain to deal with there. And it kind of transitions to rain and probably to snow there. So that's system number one there. It's not as serious like it was before. But we'll compare it to the European model here. So let's go ahead and move on into Friday tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Here's your low pressure system here. And it seems like it just sits there for a little bit till a new low develops here. It kind of splits off. So it's kind of disorganized here. Then as you move into the weekend, it really starts to get organized here. And it starts to make a move up into the northeast here. It does have a very similar situation where we do have a weak clipper system over the Great Lakes. And you actually do have a little bit of a mix there. And it seems like it sits there for a little bit and then transitions to snow there. So the rainfall amounts from the system here, let's back this up here to the next 5 days here. Your heavy rain just kind of sticks around into the Carolinas here with probably up to 4 or 5 inches of rain for isolated amounts. And then the GFS suggestion here is a little bit lower, but it's not as high res as the European model. So let's move back to GFS model here. So that goes system number one. Then you'll start to see a second system develop here across parts of the plains. Then that starts to move on towards the northeast. And again, maybe some freezing rain to start off with and then to snow. Here's system number three here. It's not going to affect the east coast or the northeast. It's actually going to be affecting the Central Plains into the lower Ohio Valley. This is a system to watch here. Something pretty interesting here. You can see here, it does create its own cold air. You can see that 540 line creating some snow on the back side of this low pressure system here. It's got plenty of moisture with it. Got it from the Pacific Ocean and even getting it some from the Gulf of Mexico here. But the thing is, this thing here starts to die down, but you can see that 540 line there, which is your freezing line up into the atmosphere, is creating some snow across parts of Kansas, Oklahoma, and Missouri. It does continue into Illinois, Indiana, and Kentucky there, with that cold pool there. It's something to watch here. I will say, well, the GFS has been showing this system here for a couple days here now. So we'll take a look at snowfall amounts in a moment. But let's go ahead and go back to the European model here. We'll look into the CMC model as well. So we'll skip on to Wednesday here. There goes by that system already. If I do believe so. No, that's the same system. Never mind. Here comes the system here. Could bring quite a bit of snow across parts of the northern plains there, but it kind of dies down As it moves up to Northeast brings a little bit of snow. And then here's this system here that develops across parts of Oklahoma, Arkansas, and again has that cold pool. Seems like it has a little bit of a stronger trough with this here. It actually has its own high pressure there this time. It looks to be a little bit more snow across parts of Kansas and Nebraska here. But the main focus is actually going to be around the Missouri. You can see here, let's move on to 5 o'clock here. So it has some thunderstorms with it. And you can see that cold air starts to get closer. And here's 11 o'clock on Friday. Snow starts to get heavier across parts of Missouri. And you see heavy snow there. And you can see this low pressure system is over about near Nashville here. You can see there's a mix going on in central Kentucky there. And here's 11 o'clock. Still got heavy snow. And eventually that starts to transition there. Later into Saturday here. So something to keep an eye on. Here's the snow for the next 10 days from the European model. You can see quite a bit of snow. I don't think it's going to be 16 inches of snow at this point. And again, this is 10 days out, so it's really far out. So it's pretty hard to tell what could happen, but since both models are on board, it is something to talk about here. You see some pretty good amounts back into Kansas, probably 3 to 6 inches of snow there. I'll say 5 to 8 inches of snow in this area here, maybe a little higher. Here's the GFS suggestion here. It's a little farther south, but it has the same, very similar placement than what the European model has. So you can see some of the higher amounts there. But let's get a better look into this here. We'll look on tropical tidbits here. So here you go. You can see here it does have pockets of up to 10 or 11 inches of snow across parts of Missouri there. Which this is a pretty interesting setup here. This is something you'll see in the wintertime. If it was in the wintertime, it'd probably be a snowstorm. But since we're still in November, this is kind of a little bit of a rare occurrence here. This is basically a winter setup here, where you got a winter storm on the north side, and on the south side it's just basically rain. But it's also the secondary severe weather season, so there might be severe weather that may try to pop up on the south side of the system on the Gulf Coast here, since that low pressure system is actually pretty far south enough to create some trouble there. So you can see some pockets of higher amounts up to 8 or 7 inches of snow there back in Oklahoma and Kansas there. Even parts of several Illinois there getting in some of the action, and even parts of Arkansas there. Again, things can change here with this system here, and the CMC model has a complete different solution here. It's actually farther up north here. So let's move on to the CMC model here. It's to be a little bit earlier. As you can see here, it does bring a little bit of snow across parts of Iowa and Kansas there. It's also weak as well. It's kind of like a Clipper system here. Snowfall amounts there could be probably a little over 3 inches of snow there. And again, this is about 10 days out. But I do have a map that I created for system number 1 and number 3. I don't think the system number 2 is not going to be that bad. It could be windy there. Maybe it's a little bit of a mini blizzard up there. But we'll see in later updates with that system. So here's my map here. So we'll start with system number 1 here. So we'll start with down the Carolinas here. So in the light green here, that's scattered showers, and it could be windy for those areas there. Now, expect this to probably push southward and probably west there. You can see the bullseye there, heavy rain, and it would be windy. That is not supposed to be a wind day. Let me change that really quick. Heavy rain and windy. There we go. So heavy rain and windy in the dark green area. So let's move on. Could be a little bit windy along the coast there. And another bullseye here, heavy rain and windy. That is possible there. There's less confidence up in the northern side of this. But you can see this dark purple is mixed to rain to snow there. The mixed line means basically freezing rain there. Definitely an ice threat with that potential nor'easter there. And let's move on to system number 3. So this is valid November 23rd into the 24th. So my idea is that a low pressure system will probably be like the GFS of the European models placement here. But the CMC could be a little bit accurate, but we're going to see about this here. And again, like I said, it's pretty far out. So here in this dark blue here, that's the winter storm potential area. So that's the areas in the dark blue there you gotta watch for potentially good amount of snow there. You could probably see less in later runs. The small pink area could be mixed or it could be rain there. And then this large green area here is just going to be mostly a rain event here. If you want to know where the low pressure system is, it's just a little bit south of this pink here, is my idea there. And again, it'll be weaker as it reaches closer to Lower Ohio Valley, which there is going to be some uncertainties for that area there. But again, we are going to have to see about this here. So there you guys, this is our guys today. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If y'all did like this video, hit that like button. If you really do like my channel, hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification there for best of upload. If y'all guys got any questions about this, you can put in the comment section down below. I answer you guys' questions. I'll see you guys in the next video.